On today's episode of Should You Do This, we're gonna tackle poached eggs. We are gonna use an egg poacher versus a standard pan. The promise here is that all your eggs will be perfectly poached, and this makes it so anyone can poach an egg. An egg poacher is $24.99 or around there. It has separate cups that lifts it out of simmering water. Simmering water goes inside, materials go on top, and each of these individual cups can be for poaching. It also has these holes in it which circulate steam. So what we're doing is we're actually using steam heat to cook these. So that's gonna be the big difference, water versus steam heat. We want an even horse race here. So we're gonna start from the point of hot water on each one. We're gonna time it out, and we're gonna see which one produces best eggs. So I got my pan here. I'm gonna put it on the stove top. Major difference from the very beginning is that there's no vinegar and then there's no salt involved because we're actually cooking the eggs in these cups. Reversing that against the standard pan method. So we have a pan here. This one gets salt, just maybe a teaspoon of vinegar to help set the albumin. The albumin is the white on the outside. It's supposedly it's gonna help it not feather out so much when it hits the water. With speed, I'm thinking maybe the surrounding water could possibly win out against the poacher itself. The water is gonna be a consistent temperature all the way around. There's a barrier here, the steam's gonna hit the bottom, and then the steam's gonna hit the top. So I don't know if we're gonna have a perfectly even, consistent egg. All we're gonna do is we're gonna test timing, consistency, and overall taste. We're doing a little spray just so we're making sure that we're comparing cooking process versus cooking process. Water's coming up to steam, so that's one egg. It's actually pretty convenient. Every time you poach an egg and you drop it in water, each one has that oh shit moment. Like, you know how you get that rogue egg that breaks as soon as you do it and you're like, ah, it's in the water, I'm ruining everything, and you scramble for a spoon and you're frantic and you're pulling it out. This one, all you gotta do is dump that cup, start again. All right, eggs are in. Lid, standard pan. Egg crack, go in each bowl. Second egg in, third egg in, fourth egg in. The steam coming from the bottom and not really circulating on the top too much is already kind of showing up here. That bottom of the egg has already turned white. The top is completely uncooked. We're hoping that's what happens here, that it cooks mostly from the bottom up and the steam eventually turns the top white so we look like we have a poached egg. But we'll see. Just so you know, we actually had to go back and redo the ones in the poaching pan because the first pass, even though those cups say they're non-stick, we couldn't get them out. So we snaked out, all four stayed intact. There was that oh shit moment, like this one may break, this one may break, but we're here. The little bit of bubbles on the bottom is slightly lifting it off. It gives you more of a round poach instead of a flat poach. Already the difference I'm noticing here is just with regular poached eggs, there's a lot of feathering. We're at 3 minutes and 30 seconds right now. I'm pulling the top. I'm gonna take these out right now. A little hot, probably should use an oven mitt. The outside feels a little hard. It kind of has that like McDonald's egg sandwich feel, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Even though we use the non-stick spray on this, there's just a couple sticky points. There we go. Poached eggs coming out. So here are our two eggs, poaching pan, traditional poach. Just by sight alone, this does look like a traditional poached egg. Yeah, it has some feathering on the outside, but that's fine. This one is very uniform, but the shape is almost so uniform that it could be leaning on a little bit, almost feels fake or artificial. Let's just talk about textures right now. And I'm gonna give you that magic little slow-mo, Instagram-y shot where we're gonna cut it open and see the yolk on the inside. This has nothing to do with anything. Traditional poached egg, the white is perfectly set around it. The yolk has that beautiful runny consistency. There's no kind of like uncooked white in the middle of it. Poaching pan now, we're gonna go down the center. All right, same thing, beautiful yolk on the inside. What I did notice right away when I put my fork in it is that there is a little bit of differentiation on the outside versus the inside. The outside is very hard set. I think that's from the hardness of the steam not being as an effective cooking method, but mean, it's still a great poached egg. Now let's take an overall kind of flavor comparison. Traditional poached egg, just the way you feel on texture too. The yolk is smooth, it's creamy, the white is set. I have none of that like uncooked white, like say jiggle. Now let's try the poaching pan. The white is super firm, and I know that people really sometimes like really firm whites. They want it to feel like it's fully cooked through. The taste on here, I do get a little bit more of a seasoned egg, and maybe that's why I'm immediately more drawn to it, but it's not saying you can't salt these afterwards. As far as consistency and ease of use, I'm leaning a tiny bit towards the poaching pan. As far as the overall product of a cooked egg, I'm actually kind of leaning towards the traditional method. So what is the final verdict? I thought it was gonna be a runaway with traditional poached eggs. But when you factor in the ease of use, when you factor in the convenience, and you're not having to worry about broken eggs, and this makes it so anyone can poach an egg, I am still not gonna give it up to this one. I am gonna give it to the poached egg, and here's why. It's one defining factor, and it's a big one for me. It is the texture of a poached egg. The white was evenly cooked all the way through. It was still soft. It didn't have the hard edges here. Now, if this right here didn't have that rubbery outside, dead winner, poaching pan, because it is easier and it is consistent. But the traditional poached egg wins it. It just has that little small advantage of everything you'd expect from a poached egg that it delivers on. For more comparisons, click here. Now I'm supposed to take this guy and flip it, if it's that way, 90 degrees.